Joining me now for the latest edition of Coach's Corner is head coach for the NAHL Knights, and that's Tom Kowal. And Coach, let's start with not the elephant in the room, but the latest news of the day and the week, and that's you're coming off your first playoff series win in the team short NAHL history. You beat the Titans in 5 games. What was it like? What was the feeling when you were able to turn at the last horn with your coaches there and celebrate, and then of course the players in the locker room? But what was the feeling like knowing that when that horn hit 0, you're moving on to round 2?
You know, I mean, if Tim, you were there, I mean, I'm yelling at the ref with 22 seconds left. We're up by 3 when they called a penalty on us. I mean, you know, you don't want to celebrate too quick. We've seen the Maple Leafs and the Bruins play in the past playoffs. I mean, you know, just with the Knights of luck the last couple of years, anything could happen. So when that horn rang, you know, when the horn, you know, blew off there, it was great just to. No, first priority is to see the guys jump off that bench and go celebrate with Christian Stoever and celebrate with each other. I mean, you know, they're banging their sticks. I mean, you know, I'm not really a coach that really represents that, but, you know, when the kids are excited, I mean, it gets me excited. I mean, that's what we're here for. And then second, you know, just to be able to celebrate with Paul Solona and Andrew Whiteside, my assistant, and Josh, just all of us to have that first embrace. All of us, the guys that have been with us for the last 3 years doing this. I mean, we even called Kerry Huffman on the way home, you know what I mean? And, you know, because, you know, realistically, that's the group that's really brought this team, you know, year after year to where we're at. So, you know, walking in that locker room and just seeing the guys smiling and, you know, embracing each other and hugging, that's why you coach the game. I mean, you know, it's one thing if I like to have fun, but when the players are having fun, you know, that's that special feeling as a coach that you get, you know, being able to celebrate with them, not them celebrate with me, you know. So, of course, we have a lot of pucks in the Hall of Fame now of a first playoff win and first series win, and you know what, we're doing a lot of firsts, and so we hope we keep it going rolling in the second round.
Now, obviously, this past Friday, you know, we were here at home, Game 3, and your guys take a tough loss that night. Almost rally back and tie things up late, but ultimately came up short. So then you're going into Games 4 and 5 with 2 winner-go-homes, including one on the road in Game 5. What does it say about your team's focus and their grit through adversity that they're able to go into those 2 games and win them both?
Well, first of all, you know, I got a pretty good tongue lashing from my father, from my dad after Friday night's win that, you know, what we need to do to get going. But, you know, we've broken down a lot of series throughout the year, best 2 out of 3, and we seem to always give away the first one. I want to make it that we're going to make it suspenseful and win second and third game throughout the whole season. So, you know what, I sat in the office looking for a positive Friday night, and I told our staff that, you know, we always win best 2 out of 3, and we always lose the first one. So we're in good shape right now, guys. You know, but you know, Tim, it's just to be a head coach of the Knights and, you know, work for the guy I work for and the group I work for, and to be able to, you know, I think everyone besides the money guy is pretty happy right now, and you know, just to be able to bring around 2, and you know, and we have a handful of 97s. I mean, Michael Morrissey. He was here since I've been here. We've talked about it several times throughout the year. You know, just to have them, you know, walk off that ice and, you know that their season still has 2 weeks left, you know, possibly another 4 weeks left. You know, and to see some of the fans travel down for Game 5, you know, that's what we recognize, and that's what we're here for. So if we can get the ball rolling and get it going, I mean, hey, we were nervous down by 1, but at the end of the day, these guys have never quit all year, you know, and kudos to those players. I wish I could say it's all coaching, but, you know, you hope you motivate them enough just to get them where they're at today. And, you know, it's been a fun ride the past month.
Yeah, and you and I had a conversation about this, I believe it was yesterday, but, you know, you've had the luxury of 2 really good goaltenders all year, and the rotation has been pretty even throughout. And you said you had a gut feeling after Game 3 to stick with Christian Stoever, and it looks like your gut was right, because Christian Stoever's almost leading every category in goaltending statistics after the first round. He comes up with 2 huge performances, 51 save shutout in Game 4, 49-51 in Game 5. Obviously, he's been playing well, to say the least, but what is it about him that kind of brings out the best in him when the stakes are at the highest?
You know, I mean, that's probably obviously a question for Christian, but, you know, we had two great goaltenders. I mean, you know, I gotta say, I mean, David Tomeo probably had the better season, you know, regular season. You know, I mean, they all had their ups and downs, but,
Sure.
you know, numbers wise, and, you know, I mean, hey, Tomeo put together a good month of December. You know, Tomeo had some big wins towards the end of the season.
Right.
You know, and that's why he started game one. You know, it's sometimes teams react a little bit different. So, you know, it's easy to hear and say, yeah, my gut was right. You know, I mean, I guess, you know, but it's fortunate enough to, you know, say it. But at the end of the day, I mean, not only is Christian, you know, Christian's been real well. It's just, you know, it's fortunate enough to be right. But, you know, I know that, you know, he's had the support of David even when he's been in the net. I mean, you know, David's a competitor. I know he wants to be in there too. And, you know, on one hand, you hope the opportunity doesn't come around, but the other hand, I feel very confident as a staff that if Christian slips, that David will be ready and David's going to be right there, because that's what they've done all year. You know, they've pushed each other, but they supported each other, and they're both competitors. They're both number one goalies in our league right now. You know, so it's unfortunate one of them has to sit and watch, but at the end of the day, you know, playoff hockey, you need your goaltender to make a save, and, you know, as much as Tomeo gave us a chance game one, we couldn't quite pull it off, and, you know, after game three, it just, you know, sometimes you gotta surprise everybody and kind of get them thinking of what the heck, and I think even as a staff, we're going, I hope we're right, you know, I mean, it's, you know, we walked out of that office with all agreeing, and we had a great conversation, and, you know, we talked to our goalie coach, Andre, and it just was a decision that we made, and we look like geniuses right now, but at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't matter what decision I make. The players are playing great in front of Christian right now, and Christian is playing out of his mind, to be honest with you. But that's who Christian was, and that's who Christian is, and, you know, it's unfortunate David has to watch, but at the end of the day, I know David Tomeo is going to be right there if and when, you know, Christian slips a little bit.
Sure, and then speaking of players playing well in front of Stoever or Tomeo, regardless, I mean, Joey Verkerke, you said, got the player of the game on Sunday there in Game 5, but along with Verkerke, he seems like he's always in the middle of a big play of late. You know, we've talked about him before as being a player who's come on really strong at the end of the year, but the blue line in general seemed in Games 4 and 5 to be a big part of why you guys were able to come up with those wins. I mean, whether it was clearing the puck quick or just making the right plays. I mean, you allowed 2 goals in 2 games, so I mean, it seems that, you know, from the vantage point of a viewer, that it was a pretty big part of the win. What's trending upward for that group?
You know what, we've had our, you know, hey, like we just talked about, when you're goaltending, your defense is doing it, you're winning hockey games. You're not making it to round 2, you know, without good defensive zone posture, and that starts with your goalie and the defenseman. But Joey Verkerke's been out of his mind. I mean, you know, he's shown flashes throughout the last year and a half. He's been in our organization. You know, he's been up in the stands for 2 or 3 straight games, and, you know, he's been on the ice. But, you know, he's a guy that really came into his role on the team. That, you know, we know Joey Verkerke's not going to put up 50 points, and but Joey Verkerke probably would be close to the most ice time on our team right now, and that's kudos to him. Hard work. I mean, you see, we get off the ice, and, you know, one of the last guys nonstop is Joey Verkerke on the ice, working on different skills, working on different things. But more importantly, he is, you know, when you got a guy like Joey Verkerke, he takes it from the locker room, the support, to go out there and battle for the guys and his teammates and for himself. You know, you take your hat off, and, you know, it's actually the first time I've ever taken the sword out of a player's hand and said, you know what, we're giving. I mean, Christian agreed with me. He told me that's who he was given to, but at the end of the day, I felt that a player to that attribute in that games 2, 3, 4, and 5, Verkerke could easily have been the MVP every game, or if you gave a defensive player of the game.
Sure.
You know, but you know what he's not doing without our other defensemen. I mean, it's, you know, Thomas Farrell's been logging a lot of ice. I mean, Simaluk. I mean, you know, it's been unfortunate. We've kind of kept consistent on 60 in that, you know, on that rotation right now. But, you know, they're all blocking shots. They're all making the plays. You know, if we make mistakes, it's not lack of effort, but, you know, they're really giving us, our forwards, an opportunity to go down and play some offense, because we're not spending too much time in our defensive zone. So, you know, Joey Verkerke today, you know, but it's Farrell tomorrow, it's Luke Robinson the next day.
Right.
You know, and that, you know, being a defenseman myself,
Right.
you really have a love and a passion for defensemen that are willing to do whatever it takes to play their role. They're not worried about points. They're just worried about winning hockey games, and that's a decor that we have on our lineup right now.
And then throughout the series, you were stressing the importance as the series wore on about the veterans getting into the score sheet, you know, putting goals in the net. And in that game 5, they certainly did. You had Reed Robinson score, you had Matt Kidney score, among others. I mean, there were other veterans that got on the board as well. But just it seemed that, you know, especially heading into a round where you're going to play the Philadelphia Rebels team, we've talked about it a lot, but it seemed that, you know, everybody was contributing, you know, in the biggest moments to come away with that series win. Do you feel confident in that the veterans are getting rolling now?
I told him on the way home after game 5, I wish they would have told me they were waiting until game 5 to take my stress level down, but you know, I mean, that's the hockey team we have right now, Tim. I mean, you know, on game 63 and 64 and 65, we're all veterans. I mean, yeah, you hope your 97s and 98s have been around for a while can lead the charge, but you know what? That's just who we are. Our young guys said, okay, hey, we'll help through game 1, 2, 4. In game 5, all yours veterans, and you know, Reed Robinson got on the board quick, and you know, Matt Kidney, Olmstead, Morrissey, Lyon played real well in game 5, and they were rewarding you know, goal 2, and obviously, you know, Danchenko with a real big goal. I mean, you know, I think Blake Kriska popped one in there, but you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's our makeup of our hockey team right now that, you know, we've kind of put the seniority, rookie, veteran role aside and just said we're one right now, and that's really showed, you know, the effort on the ice and the accomplishments that we've succeeded with. You know, I mean, without one guy in that locker room right now, we wouldn't be talking right now about round 2.
Round 2 will begin this Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be in Aston, Pennsylvania. We're playing out of the Aston Ice Works for the Philadelphia games, and of course here at the Revolution Ice Center for games 3 and 4 in the next series. But Coach, we thank you here for giving us a few minutes after practice, and we look forward to round 2.
Hey, we're excited. Thank you, Tim.